going. I'm in it. Doing it.
We're live?
We're live. This is weird. It is noon. High noon. Tuesday, March the 13th.
Gunfights happen in the Wild West.
That's it.
I knew it.
I am your host, Clay. I am with the chief in the flesh. This is Third Thoughts. Welcome to the podcast. This is an unusual thing that we're doing.
Yeah, I really appreciate Clay accommodating my schedule.
Yeah, you know, whatever you need, bro. Whatever you need.
We're there for each other.
Exactly. And it's
Lean
just,
on me
I mean, honestly, the show's just not the same without
when
you.
you're not strong.
You know, I don't have you singing like that in the background. And
Are we going to get hit with copyright infringement over that?
I don't think so. I would
That's
hope
probably not the tune.
He
Probably not the proper
That's
tune.
pretty close. I think it's
it?
pretty close.
Just call on me, brother,
Mm.
when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on.
That was good, Chief. You might have a deal after this recording deal. I know a guy.
You know a guy?
I know a few guys.
All right.
But anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. We are glad you're here with us. If you are here with us, please let us know. You can chat with us in the chat box if you are on Spreaker.com, which is the only way to hear Third Thoughts live.
Or if you have my personal cell phone number,
Yeah,
you could always just text me.
you could
if have a
text. You can hit
question.
us on the socials at Third Podcast.
To make a huge impact, you could go to Patreon.
Yeah, if you really want to go after it, you can donate and leave the message in the donation box.
If you make a donation on Patreon this week, whoever donates the most,
Yeah.
we're going to title next week's show after you.
There you go. There's the incentive. That's the one you needed. Yeah, so if you donate any amount, and we'll take anything.
Yeah, whoever gives the most.
Any amount. Bidding war for next week's episode will have your name after the episode number. There you go. No matter what we talk about.
I mean, I'm just thinking, Davis. I mean, that sounds like the Davis Show.
Seems like that would be a good name, wouldn't it?
That does, yeah, has a ring to it.
It does.
Yeah.
Joe.
The Joe Show.
You know, I don't know. Randy.
Randy Show. Yeah, there you go. Caleb.
Amber.
The Amber Show.
There's a lot of good names
Yeah.
of people we know that listen. And you could have your opportunity.
The Amber Show has a good ring to it because it's kind of, amber's kind of yellow.
Yeah.
So it's like caution. What
Catches
you're
your-
about to hear.
Catches your attention.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're doing an early show today because
Over lunch.
Yeah, if you will. Well, I'm not eating anything, but you're not.
I'm not eating.
You're not really eating anything either.
No, I'm not.
So you're sipping on. You're not sipping on Coke this time.
Broth.
Sipping on a little beef broth.
Beef broth. Now, before anybody gets all bent out of shape,
Yeah.
I'm not eating anything else. Just broth for a week. So I'll trade with you. If you think it's not fair that I'm having beef broth, then I'll trade with you. I'll start eating. You go to just broth.
I don't know. That's tough. I'd rather just have vegetables, honestly,
Yeah, me too.
than just the liquid like that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so we're doing this because Chief's got something going on later, so we are broadcasting a couple hours early. I did notice as I was collecting stories, it's funny how news is. You know, it's what I've noticed in doing the show is that news tends to come out according to when it will be the most viewed.
Oh, yes.
So a lot of the best stories don't even make it on the cast because they were either primetime last night or they're going to be primetime tonight.
Right.
So unless it's something breaking that's like just has to broadcast the moment it happens, we miss all the really juicy stuff because it gets covered before we can get to it, or it comes out after we.
And if you're like
end.
me, and you're more selective in where you consume your news, something could break on one particular news outlet and not be breaking news.
Yep.
So not only do you not get it to until there is a prime time viewing audience, you may not get it at all.
True.
If one network.
No, I definitely noticed that too. And the content.
If you watch, if you get your news from CNN, you live in a completely different America. Mm-hmm. Or no, you don't live in a different America. But it seems like you live in a different America than if you get your news from Fox News. I mean, they're very biased.
Oh, yeah.
They're both very biased.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I think all of them have a slight, NBC and ABC, and they all do. I mean,
but they slant more towards CNN.
Sure. But I think
I can't think of another one that slants towards the conservative agenda.
I can't either, really. But they're not all binary either. I mean, there are different agendas, certain.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm just talking about the slant.
Yeah. And I think
tilt.
And I think some are tilted just for. Well, I think they all are, I guess, tilted towards themselves. It's a money-making business. Otherwise it wouldn't come out at prime time. Or there wouldn't be, there wouldn't be 5 p.m. news. There wouldn't be 11 p.m. news. It's all strategically planned.
And when information generates revenue, if the impetus of disseminating the information is about generating revenue, then there is going to be a bias.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Has to be.
The only way we would actually get the real news from any outlet is if there was no financial gain involved.
Right.
And that's never going to happen.
No, it's not.
Unless you come to third thoughts.
Yeah, because we don't.
Because we're going to take the stories and we're going to de-slant them.
As best we can.
And put them on our own slant.
Correct. So if you like our slant.
If you like.
I don't know. That kind of makes me not want to push the Patreon then.
If you.
I don't want to fall victim to the same problem that.
Well, I don't think that anybody that's going to give to the Patreon is going to expect us to slant a different way. They're listening to us for the slant we already have.
Yeah, I guess
and we do have one.
That's true.
We do have one.
Yeah,
I'm a liberal conservative. Very liberal about my conservative views.
And I'm just the other guy.
You're out there independent.
Just thinking it over.
Libertarian.
I'm just thinking about it.
I don't even know if you're a libertarian.
Yeah, because I'm really not even doing anything. I'm just thinking about it.
You're like a political enigma. You just show up on one issue and then disappear on another issue, and yeah,
I'm just mulling it over. You know what I'm saying?
Big governor's race here in Georgia.
There is.
Yeah,
there
going
is
on. Casey Cagle stood up to the NRA.
Yep, that was last week, wasn't it?
That was last week. Yeah.
There's some interesting stuff. I want to revisit Australia this week.
I would love to visit
we
Australia
were there
the first time.
We talked about it last week on the show.
Oh, you mean we're just going to talk about it? We're not actually going to visit.
No, I would like to go, but that would require a significant donation on the Patreon to fly us both out there.
But if we got that donation, we would broadcast live.
From Australia.
I would find a way to do the podcast while watching a kangaroo in its natural environment.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could do it. Spreaker has a great app right on the iPhone. Boop.
Thank you, Spreaker.
So, first thing from Australia. Check this out. 68-year-old Sue Elcock ventured out on a deep-sea fishing trip. Is that good, broth?
Yes.
She went on a deep-sea fishing trip with her son just to keep him company.
Mm-hmm.
But then, as she's out there, she casts her rod.
Yep.
She's fishing, she's taking part. She reels in a 130-pound monster fish. Bigger than her. Longer than her.
130 pounds. But she didn't really want to go on the trip. She was just keeping her son company.
She was just going. She was just going to hang out. And so her son Simon and his wife, they went out, and she felt the tug on the line. She thought it was, this is a pretty big fish. Yeah, she pulls up on a 130-pound fish.
What kind of fish?
Let's see. I'm not exactly sure what it's called. Took her 40 minutes to reel it in. It's a bass grouper, a giant bass grouper, measuring 5 feet 4 inches long, 2 inches bigger than Elcock herself.
Wow.
She said, this is her quote, "I just couldn't believe the size of it when it reared its head out of the water. It was the size of a sofa."
So obviously we know where she'd rather be.
Well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I would probably want to be on the sofa too. Especially if I had to fight 40 minutes to pull in a 130-pound fish.
Do you know what kind of fillets you could get off that thing?
I mean, we're talking about like big, like a fish roast. Like a shank.
Yeah, like I don't have
like a shoulder.
I don't have a grill big enough to cook that fillet on.
Hey, you want to smoke this fish shoulder?
Hey, Randy, do you have a 5'2" smoker we can put this fillet in?
The whole thing.
Go cook the whole fish.
Oh, man. She said that her son is a more experienced angler, and she's been out with him before, but the biggest fish she caught before this was a snapper, about 1 foot long. Isn't that crazy?
That is awesome.
I mean, you go from 1 foot to 5 feet,
2
130 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, that's big. But Australia, not to be outdone by itself. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I guess it is outdone by itself because who else can compete?
Right.
Right. Also, last week, another fish is in the news for washing up on shore this time.
Okay.
Okay. This fish died, washed up on the shore. Can you guess how much this one weighed?
211 pounds.
That's a good guess, but actually it was 330 pounds.
I was close.
Yeah. They came across the strange-looking fish. It was they were unable to identify it, so it's a mystery fish. But they estimated it weighed about 330 to 375 pounds. Whales sometimes wash up on the beach, but it was in Queensland Beach, and sometimes whales wash up, but fish apparently that's not normal, and certainly not a fish this size. It did not appear to have been hit by a boat, and probably just died naturally
of old age, obesity.
Yeah, it was just old. They went back the next day, and couldn't find it. So it had washed. I guess it had
back out to sea.
Perhaps just
to
washed back out.
Finish the circle of life.
Maybe. But actually, they did come up, and the Queensland Boating and Fisheries Patrol
found it.
They worked with some experts from Queensland from the museum to identify the fish, and so it actually turns out that it was a Queensland grouper, just like the other fish. So we got two evidences of extremely giant Queensland grouper, which is a large fish, I guess, at any rate. But 330 pounds and 130 pounds being caught, but 330 pounds washing up on the beach is unprecedented. So it turns out it was the same fish, Chief. Same kind of fish.
Same kind of fish.
Yep, same one. So I guess those fish are just generally big.
Yeah. I'd like to catch one.
I don't know. I always wanted to go tarpon fishing in Florida.
Yeah.
Because, you have to fight with those for like an hour or something before you can actually get them in the boat. Have you ever done anything like that?
I want to catch one of those like $7,000 tunas. Like on Wicked Tuna, the show.
Okay.
I want to catch one and then go sell it.
That would be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah. I think it's really dangerous, though, isn't it? That's the crab fishing that's dangerous. Well, tuna fishing's dangerous too, right?
I don't think so.
Is it not?
No, I don't think so.
I guess there's always some kind of risk.
I've never seen anybody die on wicked tuna.
Well, do you think they would even show it on Wicked Tuna?
Oh, they would put it up on the screen.
I guess so.
Yeah, no, crab fishing, those crabbers.
Those guys are crazy.
Yeah, that's like the Bering Sea.
No thanks.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How does the water get so cold and not freeze? Is it the salt content?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's constantly moving around currents.
I mean, it's like 20-something degrees.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they're out there with sledgehammers breaking the ice off the boat so they can keep fishing.
Yeah. But the money they make is pretty astounding, too.
Yeah, because what they work, is it 3 months, 2 months?
Is it that short? I was thinking it was.
Yeah, no, it's short. And they're making like $40,000 for just a normal deckhand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's
I mean, it's like being a lineman, I guess. Then the risk is so high. The pay has to be that high.
right, but also, I mean, a can of pork and beans costs $6 there.
Yeah, yeah. So,
I mean, it all weighs itself out.
sure.
If I was going to go to Alaska, if somebody said, Chief, you got to go to Alaska and you got to make a living, and you can't do what you do now, probably not going to crab fish.
What you going to do?
I think I'm probably going to go for gold.
Really? That's
Yeah.
so century or two ago.
Yeah, I know, but it just seems not as dangerous.
Well, there won't be much competition, I guess.
You don't watch the Discovery Channel.
No, I don't.
There's a whole show. There's multiple shows. There's Deep Sea Gold. I think that's the name of it.
Deep sea gold. You think
Where
that's less dangerous than crab
They
fishing?
get the gold out of the ocean. Then there's Gold Rush, where they're actually just mining gold. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's in a mine or under the water. I don't think that's any less dangerous.
No. You don't mine gold in a mine.
You pan for it?
That's not the way that you do it. Well, kind of, but not really. It's basically strip mining. So they go into this big place and they start digging, and they run the dirt through these big sifts.
Yeah.
And it runs down through the water, and the gold settles down on these little wood mats. All the debris in the water runs over the top of it, and they take the mats and they do a clean out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So really it would be operating big equipment.
So you have spent a lot of time watching that show then?
I find it very intriguing.
Because you just rattled that off like you've done it.
Yeah, I mean, I find it very intriguing. Yeah.
So that's what you would do?
Yeah, what I find even more intriguing is when these gold miners go to these places where they think there's gold, like other countries, and they get there and there is no gold.
Right.
So they just look at each other and they say, hey, since we can't find gold, let's just mine diamonds or rubies. As if that's just something you can decide to do. I mean, I guess it is.
If you have the equipment, I guess it is.
Yeah.
I guess you just go and do it.
It's kind of like being a doctor. You're just practicing, just guessing.
I don't know if that's exactly a great comparison, but
If your profession is called practicing,
yeah.
I mean, nobody experts medicine or performs medicine. They're all practicing medicine.
I guess you kind of.
It's called a practice. We're talking about practice.
Yeah, but lots of things
Not
are
the
like
game,
that.
practice.
Not just medicine. You don't think what we do? We're not really experts at what we do.
I don't practice ministry. I do ministry.
Oh, okay.
I don't practice opinions. I have them.
I don't know. I think you have a lot of practice on opinions.
But I came to a mastery of it.
Oh, okay.
I'm no longer practicing.
Speaking of money, speaking of salaries and
Talk
and
to me
money
about
and that
money,
kind of
Clay.
stuff. So, there are 1.2 billion people in the world without adequate housing. You aware of that?
Billion.
1.2 billion people.
With a B.
With a B. And so to combat this, there's a new weapon to combat this homelessness.
Okay.
There are homes now being printed by an Austin, Texas-based startup, and they are 3D printing full homes for $4,000.
What?
Yeah. They developed a method for printing a single-story, 650 square foot house out of cement in only 12 to 24 hours. So within a day. Fraction of the time it takes for a new construction. If all goes according to plan, a community made up of about 100 homes will be constructed for residents in El Salvador next year. The company is Icon. They're based in Austin. They say they've been building homes for communities in Haiti, El Salvador, and Bolivia. And the first model was unveiled today.
Shoot me a contact number on these people.
Okay. I will. The first model was scheduled to be unveiled today. Is a step toward providing shelter to those in underserved communities. Yeah, so they're apparently installing air quality monitors. The home, they can print it. Right now, they're printing them for about $10,000, but they're planning to bring it down to $4,000 per house.
So for $4,000, they can 3D print
Well,
a
currently
600 square foot house.
Yep. Well, let's see. It's capable of printing a home that's 800 square feet. And the tiny home, remember the tiny homes that have been reached?
Tiny homes, yeah.
They're only 400 square feet. So we're talking about doubling the space here. In contrast, the average New York apartment is about 866 square feet.
Right.
So basically, they're printing New York apartments for these people in underprivileged countries. The model has a living room, bedroom, bathroom, and a curved porch.
So if we cut off the porch,
You're already changing the model here.
yeah, we can save a few dollars by cutting off the porch.
Okay.
I'm just thinking if somebody's living in a cardboard box, the porch is not the priority.
I know. But I'm sure I'm sure there's a reason. Surely they've spent time figuring it out.
But a lot of what happens with companies is it's like, oh, fair. They have a very Americanized view of what fair living is.
Yeah.
A 400 square foot home that keeps somebody warm and dry. In certain parts of the world, bathrooms are not relevant.
Right.
You know, those things are not relevant. How about, really a separate bedroom? Is that necessary? Just give me something. If I was destitute, give me something to keep me out of the elements and heat up my broth, and I'm okay. But no, it's a great idea. For $4,000, I can put somebody in a home from homeless to home for $4,000.
Yeah.
Man.
So the other thing is that it uses cement. So it normalizes the process for potential tenants that question sturdiness. So it's coming out strong. They did that over plastic because plastic is kind of...
I would prefer plastic.
Well, I guess cement, I don't know as far as cost, I guess, but I imagine cement's probably cheaper, right?
Maybe. I don't know. That's a heck of a 3D printer.
Yeah. 3D printing houses will create minimal waste and labor costs. And they're planning on building homes in the U.S. eventually, but they're starting in El Salvador, Haiti, Bolivia.
Right, because they're going to run into some governmental restrictions here.
Yeah. Definitely.
Some code, shall we say, code issues here in America because the government wants to tell me what I can and can't live in, what I can and can't eat. Yeah, I'm not getting into that today.
Yeah, right. No, I'm with you. This 3D printing, man, it really has opened up. There's been a lot of developments in medicine, prosthetics, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who knew? Who knew we would get this far this fast?
I know.
And then you've also got speaking of getting far fast. You mentioned it on Sunday, but Jeff Bezos,
Yes.
and his space thing that he's trying to do,
Blue Origin.
He's spending. Did you know he's spending $1 billion a year on this project of his own money?
Right. I mean, is he the sole financer of this company?
I don't know. This particular article, I don't think it says
The
anything
information that I gave
Yeah.
was from the end of, or the end of 2015, the beginning of 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the sole financer at that time of Blue Origin.
Yeah. He previously said he's funding rocket company Blue Origin LLC to the tune of $1 billion a year through the sale of Amazon stock. His net worth is $131 billion,
Yes.
with 125 of that in Amazon stock, which is pretty incredible.
So
if you think about it.
if he financed it $1 billion per year, he could do that for 125 years and still be a multi-billionaire.
Yep. There's a tweet from @Money from a couple of days ago. He's making $230,000 a minute. $230,000 a minute.
I just wish he would donate his lunchtime to me.
I know. An hour? Can you imagine?
If he'd just give me an hour a year.
That's crazy.
Jeff, if you can pick up this podcast, I want to invite you to come down. I'd like to spend an hour with you. I'll buy you bucket of shrimp. I'll pay. We can sit and eat a good low country boiled fried shrimp, whatever you want to eat. But I just like to spend an hour picking your brain. I want to know how to. And listen, we're definitely going to differ on some of our personal opinions, but I do believe that I could pick up some nuggets of leadership from you, Jeff. So come on down, or hit the Patreon, whichever. And we just
please
want
hit us with 1 minute, Jeff.
Just
hit us with 1 minute on the Patreon.
If you know Jeff, if you know a way for us to get in touch with Jeff, send him a link to this podcast, and we'd love to talk to you. Love to have you on the cast to tell us about Blue Origin. Tell us about your vision and your goals there.
It's crazy. He also said that he's taking his mom
to space.
Yeah. She's already apparently been on an ocean voyage to recover F-1 rocket engines. But yeah, apparently he's gonna take his mom into space. Isn't that nuts?
I'd like to go to space and preach the very first sermon from space.
Well, I mean, now you're gonna have options. You're gonna have the Elon Musk option and the Jeff Bezos option. Something I don't know. Something be said that we have private
Space travel.
Yeah, that these individuals have done it when the government organization has existed for years and years. And
let me tell you something about that, Clay.
Tell me something about it, Chief.
Bureaucracy.
Yes.
Businessmen cut through the bureaucracy. If the goal is space, if the goal is getting to space, they don't worry about the effects of the earthworms underneath the blast-off platform.
Right.
They just build a rocket to get to space.
Right.
Governments can't do that because of all the layers of bureaucracy. It gets in the way of getting things accomplished. It's why our presidents it's why he's getting such a bad rap. Because he's a businessman, he's not a politician. He doesn't understand bureaucracy, so he just goes and does it.
Yeah. Do you think? I mean, at what point does this go too far, though? Like, is there something? Are there concerns that you think Bezos and Musk should have? I mean, what kind of repercussions are possible, I guess?
Of going to space?
Yeah, or just, doing something that, well, I mean, I guess it's technically been done, but we're talking about going further than we've ever gone. And there's no, what kind of accountability is there?
I don't know that there is accountability. It's being driven right now by competition.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's the thing is they have to be accountable for people's safety that are going into space.
Right.
They have to be accountable for that. To some extent, they need some accountability if they're doing something harmful to other people.
Sure.
If there's radiation poisoning happening, something like that. But, outside of that, I don't know what level of accountability.
I mean, I guess time will tell. I actually just finished Black Mirror. Okay, the show. You familiar with the show?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I know about the show.
Okay,
and that is not something I would recommend to anyone.
Okay, but the show.
I'm embarrassed that you say in public that you watched that show.
Why?
If you decide to watch that show, do not, under any circumstances, watch the first episode.
Yeah, just skip it. It's fine. You don't even need to watch it. It's none of them are connected, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, I just say that to say, usually what happens in some of these episodes is the future is the setting. So, and not terribly distant future, but I guess what you would call near future, where technology has exponentially grown and like it has, since, I don't know, the 80s or something to now.
Yeah.
So not far from now. And this new streamlined way of life driven by technology. Everything's been made to be quote unquote simpler, better, more efficient, and it ends up a lot of the time there's some darkness, there's some shadows, where some bad stuff has gone on, or there are bad results being produced that the average person doesn't even know about until it happens to them. And I guess that's what I'm saying is,
yeah. And here's the thing: I don't know enough about what they're doing to know where that line is.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me that question, I can't answer that question maybe the way somebody that understands the science and the finance behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean there are certainly responsibilities that people have. I mean, what if we keep sending these rockets into space and it ticks the aliens off?
Right. Or, what if they launch and go so far and then find something, that's, I don't know, maybe valuable, or they find something that's dangerous? I mean, what kind of obligation do they have to...
Is it finders keepers?
Well, there's that. I mean, I'm not saying, like, Jeff Bezos, if you shoot a rocket and spend all your money going out there and you find something, I mean, you earned it. But what if, something that's potentially dangerous for the world? I mean, under what kind of obligations do they have to tell anybody? To warn anybody? To explain what they found or how to get there? And, right. I think that's kind of the benefit of an organization, a government organization where there's regulation. And I'm not saying it's perfect. Obviously, it's not perfect because we never really got past the moon.
Right.
And you have these guys going further than ever before.
Sure, and if we're talking about colonization,
not necessarily.
I believe there is a company that is working on colonization
of Mars or a planet.
Yeah, of a planet. Yes. Then there are those issues of who owns that property.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to own Mars?
That's a good question.
See, I mean, there are those ideas. And I don't know that we're going to answer that here in the tertiary thinking of third thoughts.
No, and I don't plan to. I'm just putting it out there for the listener to think about.
But yeah, I mean, all of those things are things that should be thought about. I have thought about my responsibility with my occupation, not my hobby here on Third Thoughts, but my occupation. Mm-hmm. If alien life ever came to Earth, my responsibility to evangelize those aliens. Yeah. I'm not even saying that I believe there is aliens, but if it happened.
Right. What are you going to do about it?
What am I going to do about it? Is that my responsibility? Mm. What are their responsibilities? I think a lot about my responsibilities.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time thinking about my responsibilities. I think one of the reasons the government has become like it has become is because people don't spend much time thinking about their responsibilities.
Yeah. You know what encourages me about Bezos and Elon Musk, though, is that they don't have because it seems like politicians and other people who seek power usually seek to increase their estate, to increase their wealth, to increase their quality of life, right? I guess I think about those guys, though. They've got everything they will ever need. I mean, we just talked about Bezos' net worth. What is he even going for other than discovery, other than to be the first one?
That's it.
And
these guys have reached the place on the scoreboard where the score no longer matters.
Exactly.
Wealthy people, the amount of money they have, it's like a scoreboard. They have now busted the clock.
Yep.
They've lapped other people.
Oh yeah.
Now they're going for the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. He has maybe the Achilles syndrome. I want to be known beyond my years. I want everyone for the ages to remember who I am.
Yeah.
So if you're the first person, you're flying people into outer space, your name is going to be remembered.
Yeah.
The pioneer of commercial space travel, not governmental space travel. What am I trying to say? Research, but I'm putting people in space.
Yeah.
I'm going to colonize some. I'm going to go find a precious metal that doesn't exist here. Yeah. I mean, those are the things that these guys are out for. They're just creating not a legacy in the sense that most of us talk about a legacy where we pass things down, but a legacy that it doesn't matter if it's passed down. It's so large that people remember them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it becomes history.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that gives me some hope about it because, I don't know. There's something, I guess, anything could be twisted and turned sinister, but there's something a little less worrisome about. Just want to be the first.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. You've worked hard and you've built this stuff here. Go and do it, man.
Right.
Yeah, I think I'm excited about it.
Get my groceries here in that 2-hour window and go pioneer space.
Exactly. I mean, I don't use that service, and I don't own a Tesla.
No,
but if I could, I would do both.
I don't own a Tesla, nor will I ever own anything that I have to plug in to drive.
I don't know. I think it would be pretty sweet.
No, that's not true. I mean,
you never
I have owned. I never drove them, but my children have owned battery-powered cars.
Yeah, those what do they call them?
Little Corvette.
Yeah, what's it called? Power wheels.
Power wheels. Yeah.
Power wheels.
But I'm not going to drive something that I have to plug in.
You don't think? I think it would be great if we just
if every automobile went to electric, I would stop driving.
Why?
I don't know. There just seems something wrong about it.
What a silly hill to die on.
Just
you wouldn't have to go to the gas. Well, you love to go to the gas station, though.
What reason would I have to get a Mountain Dew and a candy bar?
I mean, you could still go and get that, I guess.
Buffalo chicken bites.
You wouldn't have to go get gas, though. You could just go get those things and then leave.
No, I need a reason to go. It
So
validates
you
it.
never go. Oh, okay. You never go there just to get snacks.
I have, but
Yeah,
I feel
say.
bad about it.
No, you don't. You feel bad about going and getting that without getting gas.
Well, I think to myself, I should go to a restaurant and get something healthier. Speaking of health,
Okay. You have a story? How do you have a story?
I don't. It's my own story.
Okay.
People are not going to believe this.
All right.
They're going to find this. They're going to say I'm lying, that it's fictitious. But yesterday,
Yeah.
the 24-hour period preceding now,
Okay.
I lost 7 pounds.
No way.
Yeah.
7 full pounds.
Almost 7 full pounds. 6 and a lot of change. Yeah.
How is that even possible?
Well, I think because I'm fasting, not putting anything solid in my body. So all of that stuff that was going through the process in my system has purged itself, and I had 7 pounds worth of food in my system that has now cleansed itself. Not cleansed itself. Purged itself.
Yeah. 7 pounds, man.
I don't anticipate losing 7 pounds in this 24-hour period.
No. I think there would probably be something wrong with you if it did. I think you would probably be sick. Yeah. That's pretty amazing though.
Yeah.
Do you
I thought
feel
so.
how do you feel right now? I guess you won't really feel it until a couple days.
Oh, no, that's not true. I feel, well, you have to, the average listener doesn't understand the amount of caffeine that I consume on a normal basis.
How much would you say it is?
8 to 10 20-ounce Mountain Dews a day.
How much caffeine is in a 20-ounce Mountain Dew?
I don't know. A lot.
I'm going to find out really quick. Talk about
that. So, I did try coffee to try to curb the immense caffeine withdrawal headache.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
It didn't. I guess it worked some, but it tastes horrible. How much caffeine am I consuming?
Okay, so in a diet or regular Mountain Dew, 20 ounces, there's 91 milligrams of caffeine.
Is that a lot?
Yeah. The official limit by the FDA in 12 ounces is 71. So you're not like hitting the limit. And, well, that's math. I don't like that.
No.
But you're not hitting the limit, I guess, in 20 ounces.
But, okay, if I drink 10 of those,
yeah,
that's 910 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah.
Just Google this. Is 910 milligrams of caffeine a lot? I'm sorry, we've derailed this show.
No, but it definitely is a lot. No, it's fine. I mean, this is what we're into right now. Let's see. What I'm gonna put in is daily caffeine intake. Recommended.
This will be interesting because that's just Mountain Dew. That's not counting caffeine and other things.
Oh, geez. Okay. Up to 400 milligrams appears to be safe. So you are busting that thing wide open over double.
I've doubled, maybe some days triple that thing up.
That is...
Because if you throw chocolate in there, chocolate has caffeine, right?
Mm-hmm.
I probably eat a candy bar a day.
Mm-hmm.
How much caffeine does a Snickers bar have?
Caffeine is a Snickers bar.
I would think it has some, right? Because it has chocolate.
Yeah. But I don't know how pure that chocolate is. Doesn't that matter?
Probably. Is there caffeine in the Snickers bar?
There's a Snickers charged that used to be available that had 60 milligrams in it, but I don't know if the regular one does.
I'm just wondering if I daily get over 1,000. I think it's pretty safe to say I probably bump 1,000.
You probably do.
Just you
know. Do you ever drink sweet tea?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So between the sweet tea, and the, well, no, you drink those Monster things too, don't you?
Oh yeah.
What are those things called? The thin ones?
Anti-gravity.
Monster anti-gravity caffeine.
I drink one of those a day in addition to the Mountain Dews at least.
Let's see.
I would think it doesn't have as much because it's smaller.
Okay, per 12-ounce can is the green one, right?
Yeah.
Super dry.
Yeah.
It's 160 milligrams.
Oh!
So you've over doubled the Mountain Dew in one of those. And that's 12 ounces. So the 20-ounce Mountain Dew has 71, and the 12-ounce Monster Extra Strength has 160. So you're busting 1,000 easy.
Oh, yeah. I may have tripled the safe allowance of caffeine. So anyway, yeah, I don't know how we got there. I don't remember how we got here, but I drink a lot of caffeine.
Well, we're talking about your diet change.
Health.
Yeah.
Yeah, health. Losing 7 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I've lost 7 pounds and lost 1,000 milligrams.
That's actually the bigger deal than probably the bigger deal than your caloric intake is your caffeine.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I mean, we're talking about, and I mean, it's a drug. I mean, it is. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah, it is.
So, I mean, geez, you think about how much you're really cutting out. That's going to change your system up pretty significantly.
Oh, yeah. And that's what I was going to say is I kind of feel tired.
Yeah. This is from Mayo Clinic. You may want to cut back if you're drinking more than 4 cups of caffeinated coffee a day or the equivalent, which is you're definitely doing more than that. If you're experiencing side effects such as migraines, insomnia, nervousness, irritability,
none of those,
restlessness, frequent urination, stomach upset, fast heartbeat, muscle tremors.
Is it bad that I don't have those things and that I have trained my body to not have those things?
You do have a migraine occasionally, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. I have them frequently.
So,
yeah.
Maybe there's something to that.
Yeah, maybe so.
Maybe so.
You don't think I'm going to die because I've just stopped drinking caffeine, do you?
No, I mean...
Is it like life support? Is that what keeps my functions running?
I don't know. I'm surprised. So what have you had in the past day or two?
But let me try to explain this to you, because my body has already begun to process out all of the chemicals and all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to explain, but even during this show, I can tell that there's a little bit deeper sense of clarity.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's good.
So, yeah.
No, that's excellent. I was actually looking, a listener sent in a link to a website, caffeineinformer.com, which I guess is where I should have been looking for all these facts. This has some foods that have caffeine. It looks like dark chocolate is the only one here.
No, I don't do dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate has 14 milligrams per square.
No dark chocolate. That stuff's nasty.
Yeah, so I didn't think there was any in a Snickers.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I could be wrong. Hang on. No Snickers on here.
Kit Kat.
I can see. Kit Kat. Kit Kat bar. Yeah, I said Kit Kat bar actually has 6 milligrams per bar. That's interesting.
Yeah.
You like Kit Kat though. You eat a lot of Kit Kat.
I like Kit Kats.
And the Hershey bars have 9.
Reese's Cup.
Reese's Cup. No.
Just lots.
Well, wait. Yep. 4 per cup.
Wow.
That's interesting.
What are some other normal foods that people would not think have caffeine that have caffeine?
So this is weird. Apples are on here, but it says 0. So maybe it's just a negligible amount.
Yeah.
Like less than a milligram per apple.
Yeah.
Which is pretty interesting. Of course, there are foods here that are caffeinated on purpose, like brownies, granola, cookies.
I would think probably people don't realize granola, though.
I don't know that all granola is. I think it's specific granola.
Okay.
I think it's caffeinated. That's what I'm saying. Like it's caffeinated post production.
Right. It doesn't occur naturally.
No. Of course, coffee, cocoa powder,
Yeah.
dark chocolate. We said. Let's see. Not a whole lot of natural stuff. I'll say that.
Look, there's no caffeine in broccoli or cauliflower or.
No.
Probably why I don't like any of that stuff.
Maybe. Yeah, not a whole. M&Ms have 9 per package.
Yeah. I don't like M&Ms.
Really? I love M&Ms.
I don't like the way you have to apply a lot of pressure to get them to break in the beginning.
You just bite them. What do you mean?
That freaks me out.
Here's a good one. Oreo cookies have 1.3 per cookie.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't eat Oreos.
You don't eat Oreos?
No.
Some people do, I
eat
guess.
blonde Oreos.
Oh, the ones with the
golden Oreos.
The vanilla cookie.
Yeah.
You like the vanilla middle or the chocolate middle?
Vanilla middle.
You doubling down on vanilla?
And I like the mega stuff.
Oh, jeez. Ugh.
And normally what I do is I take the mega stuff, I dip it in milk, get it soft, eat it, and then chase it with Mountain Dew.
Oh, my gosh.
I actually have to have 3 things in order to eat those properly.
That's ridiculous. You know, my favorite Oreo is just the OG chocolate cookie, white middle, but not double stuffed, just OG Oreo. The thinnest one. That's my favorite one. I was never one of those kids that like ate the cream in the middle first.
No, that was a little pointless. Although there is a company here in our town. They make that Oreo middle. They have it sitting in their warehouse in 50-gallon drums.
Ew, isn't it? It's not made with lard anymore, is it?
I don't know. But listen, if the apocalypse were to ever hit, and I don't think I'm going to make it, I am going there with a spoon.
That's your. Where'd you say it was again?
A company here in our town.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to have to let me know where that is.
I will.
Yeah.
But I don't want competition during the apocalypse, so I'm not going to say the name of the company out loud.
I see. Okay. All right. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good point. All right, so I'm going to try to bring it back to where we were before we got off on the caffeine kick really quick.
Yeah.
Because this is just interesting. And I also was talking about Black Mirror too, and this is the part of the plot in one episode, but now it's becoming real. Okay. It looks like robot rides are going to deliver pizza and parcels before they deliver people.
I've heard about that.
Yeah. So that self-driving technology is actually going to come to pizza delivery. And Amazon's already doing it with the drones. They already got some wild stuff going on.
Right.
But yeah, it looks like these, and then there's their trucks. Have you heard? I think it's in Europe. The semis that drive themselves.
Yes.
And then of course Tesla just put out their semi prototype.
But it's not a self-driver.
No, it's
just electric.
It's electric.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're taking steps in that direction to have.
But you do know that the first unmanned bus was actually put into operation in Las Vegas and operated for 2 complete hours before it had its first accident.
Really?
Yes.
2 whole hours.
2 complete hours.
Check this stat. Customers favor shopping online to shopping in the mall. With Amazon.com alone delivering 5 billion packages to Prime members last year.
Mm-hmm.
Automating
That's just Prime members?
Just Prime members. Ooh. 5 billion packages to Prime members in the last year. Automating the arrival
I wonder
of
who else ordered anything. Am I the only Prime member?
No. You are a big chunk of that though. Automating the arrival of those packages to front porches would slash shipping costs in half. You remove the FedEx, you remove the UPS driver, you remove the Amazon driver.
The post office.
The post office, you just let the drone, let the car drive itself.
But how do they get it on my porch?
It's a good question, isn't it?
Is a robot going to get out?
If you have the drone thing, it lands on your house.
On the pad.
Yeah.
You have a pad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the driverless car, I don't know, maybe it just pulls up and honks the horn until you come out.
Yeah, but that's the great thing. Okay, here's the great thing about shopping online.
You don't have to be there.
Is I become more efficient with my time. A lot of people miss that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, for me, it's not necessarily convenience.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me more efficient. So instead of having to go to the mall, I can order something online. It's processed and delivered while I continue being a productive member of society, efficient.
Yeah.
In what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And the grocery shopping ends up cheaper for us because we don't walk through the store and make the impulse purchases.
Yeah. No, I get it. I think that's true for a lot of people. We tried that the meal thing where they deliver your meals.
Yeah, that's not what we do.
You do the actual groceries. From Amazon.
Yeah.
Like the just groceries.
Yeah, because what happens, okay, we want Doritos.
Mm-hmm.
So I walk onto the potato chip aisle where the Doritos are,
mm-hmm.
and I leave the potato chip aisle with Doritos, plain tortillas,
mm-hmm.
sour cream and onion potato chips, barbecue potato chips, and popcorn.
Jeez.
With Amazon, I have to go pick those things.
Right.
They're not there in front of me. They're not activating my flesh sensory things.
I need this, yeah.
Yeah. And then I keep walking, and then just right there, because it's a great job of cross-marketing,
mm-hmm.
there's the dip. So you get the nacho cheese dip, you get the salsa, and you get the French onion dip.
Yeah. It's
Didn't really go for any of those things.
Right. It's interesting. They set up those stores like that.
Sure. I go down and listen, it's not just the junk food.
Right.
I go down the produce aisle. I need spinach for a spinach salad.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, let me grab some onion, and let me grab some, oh, look at these mushrooms. Oh, wow. Look, potatoes.
Yeah.
Limes.
No, that's true. That's true. They definitely do that.
Yeah.
Yep. Here's how the robot delivery might work.
Okay.
According to their tests.
Mm-hmm.
It works kind of like Uber.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you order the item online or on your phone,
yep.
and you specify a window of time for it to be delivered to your home or office.
Mm-hmm.
As the package nears the destination, you get an alert on your phone telling you to come to the curb to retrieve your merchandise from a locked compartment in the vehicle. Okay? You unlock it with a code that you punch into a touchpad,
mm-hmm.
and then it gives you the
item. Pretty good system.
Yeah. And in Black Mirror, there was an episode where there were the pizza delivery was done this way,
mm-hmm.
and it was just like a food truck, but no person. And it you punched in the code and the thing slid out and you took your pizza off the tray.
How about this, though?
Okay.
You could take it a step farther. And if you're just going to deliver, okay, let's just say instead of the build your own pizza, because there's a lot of people that just order pepperoni or cheese pizza.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
So you have those loaded in the car.
Okay.
In a refrigerated compartment.
Okay.
An order comes in online for pepperoni pizza. It loads a pepperoni pizza into an oven that's in the car.
Okay.
So they pull up to your house, blow the horn, and you walk outside, and it comes straight out of the oven to you. And it's very fresh, very hot, and it's faster because you're not waiting on it to cook at the store and then come to you in a car.
Cooks as it comes
it's
to you.
cooking as it's coming to you.
Surely they thought of that, right? Well, you said it now, but you know how these things go. If you're the first one and you say it and you don't do it, it's going to happen.
I declare a copyright on that right now. I don't know if that's how it works, but
I declare copyright.
I declare, I speak. Hey, let me go to the world of sports just real fast as we get ready to close.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods.
Oh, yeah. The comeback.
Tiger Woods this weekend in a tournament that in the beginning featured several top 10 players.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Including Jordan Spieth, Rory McIlroy, Justin Rose, Patrick Reed. I mean, some great golfers. Okay. Finished second, one stroke off the lead with an opportunity to tie with a birdie putt on the 72nd hole.
Yeah.
Missed the putt, finished second. This is just now he is the first player to return to professional golf after having the back surgery that he had.
Yeah.
So not only did he return, he was, I mean, in the hunt for a win, and now this week he is the odds-on favorite from Las Vegas to win the Arnold Palmer Invitational.
Old Tiger.
The dude is just he's just another level when it comes to athleticism and mental toughness.
Yeah, just to be still going for it after all this stuff is amazing too.
Yeah, so that from the world of sports.
Hold on, I have one. Now that you said that, though, I got to say this one from the world of sports.
Yeah.
He's either your favorite or you hate him. Tom Brady, right?
Yeah.
So you either love him or you hate him.
I'm in the latter.
Here's the thing. I'm not a big fan of Tom Brady either. But he has a really strict diet, right? Mm-hmm. And he attributes his continued success as he ages to that. So he takes care of his body. He's 40 years old. He's playing NFL football. So he was on Colbert the other night, and he ate his first strawberry. Tom Brady had never eaten a strawberry until Monday. Colbert was prodding him into it, It's like, gotta eat the strawberry. He said he hates strawberries. He's never eaten one. He hates the smell. Mm-hmm. So he ate his first strawberry. He said it wasn't that bad. But apparently, Tom Brady used to just crush beers and stuff when he was younger. And so then Colbert asked him, when's the last time you had a beer? And he said, well, it's been a long time. And so he reached under the desk and pulls out two big mugs. And so he challenges Tom Brady to a beer chug. And, of course, Tom Brady
won.
Tom Brady did win.
Well, there was no way he was going to lose.
No. And he's kind of like Tiger. He's just relentless.
Yes. I mean, I'm going to say that in that way, I am much like those two. I will die before I let you beat me.
Yeah. Even if it's a competition you're not interested in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to win.
And I think maybe that's what sets them apart. They're just competitors.
If somebody said, we're going to have a weight loss competition, I would lock myself in a room and starve before I lost.
Yeah. That's what sets you apart, that competitive nature. I'm not really like that. I'm not interested.
I've never let my kids win.
Like anything? Video game?
No.
Board game?
No.
Sports?
Oh, no. Now, I'm not saying they've never won, but I've never let them win.
Yeah.
I can remember both of my children at young ages. One of them is still an 11-year-old. She's an 11-year-old girl. The other was a girl. So we're not talking about, that we would be out shooting basketball, and I would be just blocking shots and just slapping their layups up into the tops of the trees, smack talking, dunking on them. I'm talking like 4 or 5 years old. Yeah.
You're that guy.
There are winners and losers in life.
Yeah.
And you need to understand that at an early age so you can get your head wrapped around it.
I'm with you.
Keep score in Little League. Don't give participation trophies because life does not give participation trophies.
Somehow, we get onto one of your pet subjects every time. Sometimes at the beginning, sometimes in the middle, sometimes here at the end of Third Thoughts. And if you've made it with us this far, you really love us. And we appreciate you. And we love you right back. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here with us. Next week, we will return probably to our normal 4 p.m. slot. You can catch us live on Spreaker. You can listen later on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, all the other places you get podcast content. They're all the rage right now, and ours is no different. So, we will see you next Tuesday at 4 p.m. on Third Thoughts. We are out. Baseball are the same people that created curling as a sport.